your spirit play in this community. We'll find our way. Every soul a story, a journey to unfold, seeking out the wisdom, the truths of new and old. We release our fears, let the light shine bright. In the warmth of our spirit, we ignite the night. Arise, arise, through awareness we will grow, taking responsibility for what's mine, opens up the flow. Inspire living happens from the inside out, knowing spirit is all, washes away any doubt. Everyone evolves in their own perfect way. Let us hold hands as we proclaim. Arise. Steps of faith we take with courage in our hearts. Every voice a chorus, every smile a part. From every corner of our city we come anew, with open arms and spirits to embrace what's true. Feel the energy rising, the joy in the air, as we sing our song of love. Let go of despair. Here at the center, there is a seat just for you, sharing in the laughter while we co-create the new. Rise, arise, through awareness we will grow, taking responsibility for what's mine, opens up the flow. Inspire living happens from the inside out, knowing spirit is all, washes away any doubt. Everyone evolves in their own perfect way. Let us hold hands as we proclaim. Arise. Together we explore the realms of the divine, unfolding to our potential, weaving hearts sublime. Every journey matters, every truth we share. We lift each other higher, showing how we care. So hold on to the vision, let your bliss lead the way. Live every single moment, let love fill your day. As we rise up together, a symphony of grace. Find the light within us, in the sacred space. So come one, come all, to this place of peace. In our unity, may your worries cease. With open hearts and open minds, let's embrace the call. Within the Center for Spiritual Living, there's a place for us all. Arise, arise, let spirit be your guide. Welcome to your spiritual home. It's so great to be alive.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Center of Spiritual Living in St. George, Utah. We're glad you're with us. So we're gonna have a little show for you today. Our subject this month is Higher, Deeper Love. And I'll be your host today. My name's Alan Stanley, and we'll play a couple songs together and get this thing moving here. So I think we probably have a few announcements initially. But before that, I will explain our purpose. As you just heard, hopefully, the song Arise, and it's talking about our purpose, which Arise stands for A's for awareness, our radical responsibility, inside out living, spirit is all there is, and everyone is evolving. And so am I. So our vision at CSL St. George is a community-focused center, actively living, sharing, and nurturing its members and friends so that all may live their best lives. So you're welcome to join us anytime and share that vision with us. That's why we're here. Now our mission at CSL St. George is to be an open, inclusive, and evolving spiritual community that supports its purpose and vision through these acts: sacred wisdom celebrations, empowering transformative education, youth and young adult programs, dynamic music ministry, community inreach, and community outreach, which is what we're doing right now. We're reaching out to you. So just sit back, relax, and we'll have a good time. Our team today consists of Bill Smith in the background, running all the technical parts of this deal. And as I said, my name's Alan Stanley. We'll have our invocation and our reading by Scott Thompson, one of our practitioners. And, of course, our message by our own Rev Joe Kovach. So just sit back and relax, and we get through these announcements and get this ball rolling here. June's Hired Love Zoom Conversation Meeting. That's today on the hour, 12 o'clock here, Mountain. So you're welcome to join us. You can find the links by going to our website, or if you get the email message letter, and then you can find your way there. Our next in-person meeting is going to be on June 28th, which is next week. Love Fits Us Up, Where We Belong. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, so that'll be the subject that day. And more details in the newsletter and online, of course. Prayer requests. We love them. We have our practitioners that are always waiting and would love to join you in prayer. If you would like somebody to join you in prayer, you can email practitioners for prayer at csl.org/about. And somebody will get a hold of you pretty quick, and you can sit down and pray together. That's what they're for, so let's use them. We have our little bookstore going when we meet in person, and it's at the back of the room, the meeting room, and we've got a lot of new books in there, just overwhelmed with the spiritual types of stuff that we believe in. So when you come visit, you can go back there and look around, and if you want, read one, you can borrow it, buy it, or just sit there and read it. And we're also welcome. If you got some you'd like to share, you're welcome to bring them and take a look at them and put them out there. But it's located in the back of the room on our in-person Sundays. We have a celebration coming up, and I think it's this 28th, right? But so it's a mini psychic fair, they're calling it. We've got a lot of people there that can help you with reading, Reiki, and just Reiki, just all kinds of things. I think it's like $5 to get in, and if you want to have a session with one of these specialists that are going to be there, I think that's maybe $10 for 15 minutes. So that will start around 12:45 after the service is over on the 28th. So hope to see you there. Oh, by the way, happy Father's Day. I'm glad that we're get recognized once in a while, but there's nothing more pleasurable and blessing to be a father and involved in the raising of children. And actually, just a few minutes ago, my son and his family was down visiting from Salt Lake area, and we had a great time with my little 3-month-old grandson named Fisher. So happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Juneteenth, which just passed. We're celebrating freedom and resilience. I know many of you know about it, but some of you don't. But that's celebrating the day when the slaves were finally freed after the Civil War. And so that's the holiday in 1865 when they finally heard about it, and they got some help down in Texas to receive that freedom. So we celebrate that and honor all of our friends of color. Now, we also have what we're doing now is, for your benefit, you can go online and find it on the website or in the newsletter. We're kind of keeping track of what's going on in the community, and we're posting it up, as you can see here. Just a lot of things that are interesting or happening around town. There's a lot happening around St. George. So if you can take a look at that, you might find something you're interested in, and something people trying to get together, maybe go in groups and participate in some of these activities. So take a look at that. That's on the website and in the newsletter. Well, so higher, deeper love. So I'm digging around thinking about better do some love songs. Been doing love songs all week and month. But I found this one that I hadn't seen this thing in a long time, written by a fellow named Tom T. Hall some time back. So I think we'll throw a little country in this show. Can't help it. Welcome to Sing Along. I love little baby ducks, old pickup trucks, slow moving trains, and rain. I love little country streams, sleep without dreams, Sunday school in May. And I love you too. I love leaves in the wind, pictures of my friends, birds of the world, and squirrels. I love coffee in a cup, little fuzzy pups, bourbon in the glass, and grass. And I love you too. I love coffee, smiles, kisses from a child, tomatoes on the vine, and onions. I love winners when they cry, losers when they try, music when it's good, life. And I love you too. Now we're going to bring in Scott Thompson, our practitioner, and he's going to read a little bit for us. Hello, Scott. Hello.
Hello. Hey there.
There he is.
Thanks, Alan. You just brought me back to a time with my folks in a old station wagon. We used to drive around, and my had AM radio, and they turned on, and I think it was Tom T. Hall. Maybe he was the guy, the artist of that.
Yeah, he did that.
So how apropos for Father's Day. So thank you for doing that and sharing that
Sure.
gift with all of us. And hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Scott Thompson. I am a practitioner at the Centers for Spiritual Living St. George. And it is an honor, as always, to be with you today. Happy summer solstice, the longest day of the year and the shortest night. And all things are possible. And so, and of course, happy Father's Day. Found it a really interesting mix today that all the guys in our fellowship are here today. So we're sending that father energy all over the place. So, and speaking of, I was kind of contemplating on the reading, for a couple of days. And one of the things that I was pulling up was the whole concept of the theme for this month, but particularly this week, and Reverend Joe will be, I'm sure, expanding on it in his talk today. But, what's love got to do with it? So, right away, it's like, you probably hear the song Tina Turner and hearing that, what's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? And so when Tina sang those words, she was talking about love as vulnerability, a human emotion that can leave us bruised, cautious, and guarded. And if we view love strictly through the lens of human relationships, she had a point. Human love can feel conditional and fluctuating, and at times very precarious. But if we look through the lens of science of mind, we have to ask the question differently. What's love got to do with it? The answer is everything. It has absolutely everything to do with it. The principle, love as the divine impulse. You think about that, the divine impulse. So in the teachings of Ernest Holmes, love is not a secondhand emotion. Love is the self-givingness of the universe. It's the primal urge of spirit to express itself, to create, and to connect. Ernest Holmes wrote, love points the way, and law makes the way possible. So if we look at love as the divine blueprint, the mind of God is the builder. When we align our thoughts with love, we aren't just, feeling a nice feeling. We're actively tapping into the highest vibration of universal law. We are moving from fear and separation into unity. Carl Jung talked much, he was a world-renowned psychiatrist and talked about archetypes, and studying archetypes for a while myself. And so I'm going to share a little bit about the father archetype, because today is Father's Day, and that gives us a perfect human canvas to understand this divine principle. So if you think about the archetype of a healthy, loving father, what does a father do? A father provides a foundation. A father looks at a child and sees their potential before the child can even walk. I know that there's a lot of dads in there that could understand, hearing this, can shake their heads on that one. And when a child falls, the father doesn't change his mind about who that child is. He lifts them up, he dusts them off and says, try again, you've got this. That human act of nurturing, protecting, and believing is a direct reflection of the divine. Father, mother energy of the universe. Spirit acts exactly like that idealized father. It provides a mental and spiritual foundation that never shakes. It sees our perfection, abundance, and wholeness, even when we are blind to it. It operates under a law that always says yes to what we firmly believe. So what's love got to do with it? We honor fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, and mentors today. We aren't just celebrating individuals, we're celebrating the willingness to channel that divine principle of love into form. We are honoring the willingness to be the safety net, the guide and the believer, that if you are carrying a second-hand emotion view of love today, if you are holding up walls because of past hurts, or perhaps dealing with complex feelings surrounding Father's Day, remember the science of mind truth. You live, move, and have your being in an infinite mind that loves you unconditionally. It doesn't require you to be perfect, because you already are. It simply requires you to be open up to it. So let's change our mental concept today. Love isn't something we might lose. Love is who we are. So I'm going to go into our invocation today. And bringing in that I recognize and I remember that I am surrounded by, immersed in, and protected by an infinite love. This love is the very essence of the one life, steady, unchanging, forever expressing itself as who I am, and therefore it is expressing itself as who you are. I honor the divine masculine energy of protection and strength that's within me, that is also within you. This sacred strength is not forceful. It is the quiet, unwavering assurance that I am guided as you are guided, supported and upheld by the presence that only knows good. I know that love points the way. I know that it reveals the next step, the gentle nudge, the inspired idea. I know that law clears my path as it clears yours. It responds to the vibration of our universal consciousness and makes straight the way before us. In this awareness, I release all tension, all fear, all imagined separation in this day that you might be experiencing, knowing that we now rest in the knowing that all is wonderfully, powerfully, and perfectly well. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Scott. Thank you very much. So this next song is one of my favorites. I play it quite often, I think, maybe. It's by Alice Altink. I love myself, and Scott kind of touched on that, we're perfect. I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me, nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I am. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. If I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, as I can plainly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So I tell the world of peace on earth that only love can bring, and I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. The change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I am. And I love myself just the way I am. Yes, I love myself just the way I am. Now it's time to bring in Rev Joe Kovach.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you love yourself just the way you are?
I'm working on it.
I just had the image of, can you imagine, like with the World Cup going on, can you imagine like a whole stadium singing that song, the power that would generate?
Boy, yeah.
Man, that would be cool. And if everybody sang it in their own language, that would be even more amazing. Yes. Thank you, sir. Great choices of in your musical ministry. Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
All right. And happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to Bill behind the screens, behind the scenes, screens, all of it. He's the man behind the mission. He's got to make me look good. Can I get a gong, Bill? Let's test that out. Find it and gong me. He knows what I'm saying. We're playing with StreamYard in the background. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Good morning. And there it is. Whack. Take that in. Awesome. So good morning and welcome to CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living St. George online Sunday celebration. And we continue our talk on love, higher, deeper love. And I do want to say I had so much fun last weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. Thank you for everybody who showed up. And we did do a Father's Day honorary recognition because we were in person that day, but we do still want to wish everybody, and I like the way Scott reminded us that it's not just the biological father that we're celebrating. Many people play that fatherly role in our lives, and we may not even be aware of it. I got a text a little bit ago saying happy Father's Day to and the mother was thanking me for being a fatherly figure in her son's life. So wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for showing up and being you. But what does love have to do with it? That is the question. And as you heard, that's another older song, as we go back, all of our titles of the weekly themes have been songs. And just like last week, I wanted to start out kind of with the end in mind. So I want to share a Ernest Holmes quote with you. And he says, if we would look for a God of love, let me say it again. If we would look for a God of love, we must look long and deeply into each other. We must look away from the differences until we penetrate into the unity of the whole. Love alone reveals love. Hate but hides the gleam. So let that sink in. Look away from differences until we penetrate into the unity of the whole. Love alone reveals love. And so I have some props today. And Bill, if you could focus in on this and make it big or as much as you can, and then I will show it to everybody. Bill, there we go. Thank you. So this is a sphere, right? I'm going to ask you, what do you see? What comes to mind when you see this? One person may look at this and go, oh, that reminds me of a wheel. And I love vintage cars. And I think of freedom and independence and adventure. Another person may look at this and say, well, that reminds me of a pie because I'm hungry. And that pie, the colors on this sphere, I'll make sure, there we go. The colors of the sphere remind me of a marble pie. And that brings back feelings of being with family and friends and just satisfying meals. And another says, I don't like round things at all. So I'm going to build a box and put it around there because I like square things. So, and then I'm going to decorate the outside with my own art. And somebody else is just says, I don't know, I just like it as it is. And I think I'll just decide to share its beauty with other people. Now, understand the point of this is that no matter how it's perceived, how it's used, how it is celebrated, how it is incorporated into a cultural system or an environment, it is what it is. It remains, in essence, what it is. It's its own nature. And I want you now to use this as a metaphor that this is divine love. That love, the infinite presence of love, appears differently to every person, every culture, every religion, every philosophy. There are infinite angles to look at it, to experience it. And so, again, how can we define something when each of us is experiencing it in a different way? Yet, like the sphere, it remains whole, complete, and unaltered. Now, divine love is not hard. It's not finite. It is infinite, and it is everything. So no matter how we choose to recognize divine love in our lives, in ourselves, which is what we were talking about last week, and this week, I want us to recognize how we're recognizing it in the collective experience of life with others, right? Then the challenge is to recognize that love is always present. There is no place where it is absent. And the challenge can be when we are overly attached to our own personal perspective of love and also forget the deeper reality of love expressing. And what I mean by that is that I can look at this actual marble sphere as a thing, and I can also recognize it and go deeper within me of what it may represent. And so if all I see are, if all we pay attention to are the differences of how we are experiencing this one natural unity, this infinite presence, okay, if all we focus on are the differences, then like Ernest Holmes was saying, then we're not going to come from that perspective that we're looking for, which is the whole, right? What does he say? We must look away from the differences until and he uses the word penetrate the unity of the whole. And to me, that symbolizes that's almost like there's a wall, and that wall is a wall of belief, okay, that love is truly all there is. And I will say, no, it's not, because of, and then I go through my personal perspective and I get stuck there. And that's of course common. That's what we're all in essence going through. And so we each have our own story of life, but love, divine love, is bigger than all of our stories, but definitely bigger than our own individual story, even though at the same time, our understanding of it is a part of why we're here, right? And as with any story, there are ups and downs, there are positives, there are negatives, there are doors that shut, there are doors that open. And in this life, we inherit things from other people. That's like, we come in fresh love babies, and then we kind of get muck all over ourselves, which is okay, because that's we're becoming within our society. And so we what's the word we're looking for? We inherit traits and belief systems and other people's stories and traditions, definitions of what a relationship is, definitions of what creativity is, definitions of what authenticity is. Okay. And then we also inherit people's fears and traumas and prejudices and biases. And we're trying to forge our way, in essence, back to love, while in essence, all the time, we've never left it. Let that sink in. Again, it's like the metaphor is the fish swimming in the ocean looking for the water. We're in it, we're of it, we are it. on top of that, we have this thing called a personality or an ego, which is set up as if it's like our hard drive that we're operating from, and its main focus is that we are separate and it needs to protect us. And so again, we have to penetrate all that through life, through experience, through practice, and understand that, kind of like my old saying is we're all doing the best we can with what we have and where we're at. We're all coming from a different perspective of life, of divine love expressing. Yet, beneath every action, beneath every human behavior is a longing to belong, a longing to connect with other people, a longing to be loved, and see yourself as part of that unity of the whole. And in science of mind, the thought system is, in our philosophy, that is, if we are suffering, okay, that it basically comes down to that it's because we have forgotten our spiritual unity, that we forgot we're already part of the whole. And it's, again, turning our thoughts and our behaviors and our actions, working with each other to overcome that, to penetrate that belief system that we are separate, that we have, that there's lack in any way, shape, or form. And when we view life only as these small behaviors and we segment it, right? I guess that's the word I'm looking for, segment. And there's opinions and there's personalities and identities, then we miss the deeper truth of what there is. And Holmes and this philosophy is saying, let's take a deeper look at maybe what we feel is obvious, what we feel is the truth, even if it's already a grand thing. I don't care how wonderful your life is. There's another level to it. That's the beautiful thing about life. Now, my other prop is some people, if you take a tapestry, and I have a mini tapestry here, you look at the backside and it's kind of tangled and it's frayed and it's kind of boring and there's random specks of different colors here and there. And this is our personal view. We get stuck on this and we say, look at all the differences here. But we forget the unity of the whole, that when we look from the front side, beautiful images show up. And as a collective humanity, we get caught on this side. Oh, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're short, you're tall, you're big, you're small, you're of this race, ethnicity, intelligence level. Just fill in the blank. It's all just separations. Well, we need to see ourselves from love's perspective, that you are beautiful, that there's nothing missing. And the only thing holding you back from recognizing that is that we hold on to the thought that there's something missing. Right? So, each of us can't do anything about another other than being the best example we can be. So bringing love up from within and then sharing that's what we can do, right? But we can't force a greater perspective onto others. But we can point out and say, there's a beautiful thing happening here. Okay, just turn that thing around. Well, life is tough. Life is difficult. There's people out to get you everywhere you go. Everyone's a shyster, yada, yada, yada. Pull back to that. You've heard me say several times, the satellite view of Earth. It's a beautiful thing going on, right? Beautiful. Love sees the larger pattern going on. And here's the thing, because, what my thought within this is, but there are things we're going through. Absolutely. And spiritually speaking, I'm not saying to ignore or deny or pretend that your pain is not real. It is. What I'm asking us to do is to practice seeing deeper than the current reality that we are living within. Try to work to expanding our idea of love. This is not Hollywood love. This is divine, as Scott used it, the impulse of all that is life, giving of itself. right? Love is what heals the separation. Where we see a gap, it fills that in. It may not be a physical filling in, but we recognize the essence, the presence of love is there. And that allows us to feel more comfortable taking the next step to understanding a deeper love. Okay. Now, going back to that idea about your current situation, I want to share, and I made a slide. Love does not excuse harm. Okay. No one hurts another person out of love on purpose. Okay. And love illuminates it, meaning love illuminates harm or trauma, discomfort, so that we can transform it, so that a transformation can occur. Okay. So in essence, it's like, ooh, I have a pain all of a sudden. Why do I have a pain? Oh, I have something sticking out of my finger. I can remove that now and I can heal. Many of us have kind of just shoved that thing back in there for so long because we don't want to deal. We're afraid to deal with it. Maybe we don't know how to deal with it. Maybe we're afraid our story is it's going to be so painful. And I heard this from all these other people and yada, and we build up this story. But maybe the story is simply just pull it out and begin your healing. Right? Every transformation that we go through, every healing, begins with love and begins in mind. Why do we say that? We're not talking about the brain. We're talking about this infinite, I'm going to use the word imagination, but it's not quite the thing, but it helps us understand this playground of imagination that's infinite, where we can practice looking at this in infinite ways, practice seeing from a different perspective. And maybe we give ourselves space to look at maybe what is blocking our view so that we can overcome what we believe is obstructing love fully expressing into my life, into your life, into this life of humanity expressing. Another example that I heard was, and you've probably heard it, but the idea that there's a window and there's dirt on the glass. And we are talking about, the glass, and what we in essence, we just kind of forget it's there. In other words, the problem isn't the dirt on the glass. The problem is we haven't cleaned it. We didn't make the effort to heal the glass by making it clean again. And so this week at my house, we had rugs done twice because we had to split it up. And it brought my mind back to many of the things that we kind of just have tucked in. So in order to do this, we had to empty all of our rooms and one at a time. And so during that process, I realized how much I just put away. Maybe I thought I was going to use it for another day and left it. Maybe I just didn't want to deal with it, and so on. And that made me think of another example where we used to have an Astrovan. I love that Astrovan, and it was perfect, and it served us well. But about 3 years after we bought it, there was an issue with the locks, and they were electric locks. And you would be driving, and all of a sudden they would pop up, and you would hear the, and you're like, "What's going on?" And after, once in a while, wasn't a big deal. We ignored it, and then it started doing it more frequently, and it wouldn't just do it once; it would do it for a while. And so we brought it in to those that know. And the dealership's like, "Oh, this could be really costly. We're sure it's an electrical issue. We'd have to go through the whole van. It could be thousands of dollars." And so at that time, we're like, "No, we'll just put up with it for now. We'll put up with it." Now, driving around the city, sometimes not so bad. Taking trips to my mother-in-law up in Park City from Vegas, which is with kids, a 7-hour ride. This thing would go off for an hour sometimes. And we would do everything, including pray, go away, solve our problem. And this happened for years. We put up with this, right? And we thought positive and we did things. And then finally, phones had advanced, I took a video of it and I brought it into the dealership and he's like, well, the clerk there, he's like, let me bring out one of our specialists. And I show him the video. He goes, oh, I know what that is. And he had it fixed in 2 hours. So we had about 7 years of absolute annoyance, young kids and this thing going click, 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 when we could have just brought it to the right place. Love, right? I could have just taken care of it instead of pushing it away. The stories of how it was going to be expensive, dealing with imagined uncomfort, imagined trauma and pain, when the reality was it was a simple fix. Now, I know it's not always that simple, but in the end, and I tell myself this all the time, it is simple. It's changing one thought and practicing it, being disciplined, recognizing, for example, that love is present. Love is never absent. That unity of the whole, that there is no other, that if somebody else is suffering, then somehow, some way it affects me. Right. And then I had to ask myself, what beliefs about another person or another group or even myself am I willing to look at and release so that I can allow love to be more of a presence in my life? Okay. As Ernest Holmes says in his quote, love alone reveals love. So we have to kind of expose what we believe is blocking it. It may feel painful at first, but there's a way through it. And the last kind of big point I want is, again, that love doesn't only just reveal love, but in our life, it reveals the interdependence, interconnectedness of love. And yes, interdependence, because we depend on other people. Our well-being is connected to the other well-beings of everyone. And we can take that, not even everyone as in human, but every species and such on Earth. As we know, if we lose our bees, we're in trouble. Great, the whole planet is in trouble. But let's go back. Where can we start? Scott brought up that each of us not only has a divine spark, but is the divine spark. We don't recognize our own value, our own worthiness. We don't recognize that we're, in essence, the fish swimming in the ocean. We are already there. In Science of Mind, what do we say? There is one life, not many lives, one life expressing as all life. Nothing is exempt, right? When we start practicing this, then our ideas of competition, right, will become more cooperative, right? Anger will give way to compassion. And we're not forgiving or we're not forgetting about harm. Okay, we're not saying that didn't happen, but we're going to a deeper level of truth, right? And I'm watching time. I want to make sure. One of the other questions I'd like us to think about. How is, instead of asking, how is the divine expressing here? Okay. Or let me switch that. I want you to ask, how is the divine expressing here? Right. Instead of, why is this different from me? Or whether it's a person or the experience. Just recognize it's a different view of the whole. And we're all allowed, gifted, the ability to see life, love, God, each other through our own eyes. Now, another Ernest Holmes quote I wanted to share, he says, love begets tolerance. Tolerance begets understanding, which is being able to put oneself in the other person's place and see why he or she acts as he or she acts, say why they do what they do. Thus, love can create a better world in which to live. It is the one power which can and must bring peace to a changing world. Take that in. sometimes when we're lost within ourselves, it is by deeply looking into somebody else that we're able to see the goodness of life, the goodness of God, of love, and then recognize it within ourselves. So, as Scott said, what does love have to do with it? He already answered it. Everything. Right? We've spent this month knowing that love is not just an emotion, that love is the spiritual reality of all life. It is inherited within our life through wisdom, through stories, through the healing of so-called wounds. It is courage, it is strength. And when we choose to see the divine in one another, and on the slide, what is possible? Well, click, healing becomes possible. That's one advantage. And again, there is no end to that. Another thing is that accountability for ourselves and, quote, others becomes compassionate. Okay? We see ourselves in the other. We see the divine in the other. Diversity becomes sacred. What does that mean? It's like, yes, I recognize there's a whole, and using the analogy of a puzzle, that each of us are individual pieces, but we wouldn't be whole without that piece. So we recognize diversity in our lives as being okay, as being compassionate with it, that it's necessary, that it's love from a different point of view. And finally, community becomes transformative. So when we recognize that there is love in a community, then we feel safe to be amongst people, to open up and ask that, go deeper. Where can I go deeper? Where do I have blockages to the expression of love? So like divine love, or like the sphere, divine love never stops being what it is, ever. Right? It appears through infinite forms, infinite ways, through stories and legends and infinite experiences, and will continue to. Right? So our invitation this month, which is higher, deeper love, is to look just beyond appearances long enough to penetrate, okay, that veil of separation and go and discover the unity of the whole, as Ernest Holmes says. And when we do that, as Ernest Holmes says, the reward is that love reveals love. Yes, love reveals love. And there it is, right? All we need is love. No, love is already here, but yes, in our lives, let's use more of it. Remember, infinite. Infinite means we can go to the ocean of love and we can take a cup, we can take a picture, we can take a bathtub, we can take a swimming pool, and love is never less than it is. Right? So let's you and I open to a greater understanding of divine love. And in that, let's practice use our practicality and our affirmation. Okay, there is one life, one love, one presence, expressing as the faces and the life around me. Yes. And before I pray, I watched a nice short video on a sharing about Juneteenth. And it was from a Black man, and it gave me a different perspective. So again, Juneteenth is not just the ending of slavery. It was specifically, and Alan kind of touched on this, I just want to make it clear, that it took Texas 2 more years to announce slavery and follow up on that. And so his point of view was, how many of us are not using what we're given, in essence? In other words, he's for him, he was like saying, you won the lottery, you're in poverty, you won the lottery, but for 2 years, no one told you. Right? Now, his question was, how are we doing that to ourselves? And let's use that for love. That love is presence, but we're putting it on the back burner. We're acting as if it isn't here. Now, I don't want to be an analogy as if the people in Galveston were denying it. They were denied, Okay. And then that's when the government went in and said, no, Texas, Galveston, they're free. Okay. And at the same time, what a joy to realize what I'm free. All of a sudden, one day you go to work. What? I'm rich. I have everything I could ever want, which is the love and connection and unity within my life. That's worth more than anything. Okay. And so, Juneteenth, I like how he made it not, for me, he broadened the picture of Juneteenth so that I, as a white male, can understand it and not almost feel like shame as if I was part of that crew that decided to not tell them. Because I do go there sometimes. And that's something that, again, this helped heal. Like, what can we use this as a lesson for so that everybody can use it to prosper in our lives? So now let's close in prayer and just know that love is present. That love is all there is. These are not just simple words. This is profound spiritual truth. And those with spiritual maturity can understand. What I know to be true is that we are all fishes swimming in the ocean of the divinity, playing this game of looking for the water, all the while realizing that I am that you are that. It's all, I know that all the answers are here now. There cannot be a question without an answer. And so no matter what we're doing, what I'm doing in this life, that is part of that process, that there is no shame. There is not a God sitting up on a cloud judging me, judging my actions, punishing me. The freedom of the divine lives in just that it is literally everything that I am looking for. It is already everything that there is. So I open my mind and know that my mind is the mind of God. There is just one. And I have access to that, to recognizing and knowing the truth of this divine impulse expressing as me and as everyone else, as everything else. And so I get excited about understanding in my life where I can now heal this idea of separation and discover the front side of the tapestry, the beauty in all of life, not just and see differences as wrong or bad, but differences as being part of the whole. I am grateful for this day, particularly as we celebrate fathers and fatherhood and that divine masculine principle of safety and strength and courage. Courage to be the me that I came here to be. And I know that this statement echoes to all, that we are here to experience the life we came here to experience as love, as joy, through laughter, through wonderful experiences with each other. So I'm grateful for the love and connection that is in my life, in your life, in our community as CSL St. George, in the greater communities, and in the entire world. I see this world of love. I see this world of peace. And I know that things must be revealed to be healed. So in joyful love, let the healing begin. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Rev Joe. That was great.
You are welcome.
I like the scenery you got behind you. I can almost see it here from where I live. It looks like Snow Canyon up there. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you all again at the Zoom, right? You gonna
Correct.
show up? Okay.
Yes, sir. Everybody is welcome.
Yes. Well, thank
Come
you.
as
I
you
might
are.
just show up. Yeah. So we got a few announcements, and we'll close this thing down and get ready to go zoom. So what we're going to talk about here next is the blue sky. I think we're going to talk about prosperity. We are, yes, and we're experiencing that here at the center. And you are more than welcome to participate in that. The blessings of giving, it never ends. It just keeps flowing around, and you get in that flow, and it's a really good thing. And you can participate. You can give through Zelle, and you can give online, which would be, I think, through PayPal. And you can get the link at the website, or you can give by mail. Or you could sit and stare at that QR code and wonder how many combinations can that thing create? That's the question of the day. A lot more than a UPC code, I guarantee you. So anyway, thanks for joining us, and thanks for sharing our prosperity. We love you all. So here's our offering affirmation. I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means. And so it is. Yes, so it is. So our upcoming services, as we've been saying, the 28th next week is in person with Reverend Rachel Dilling. And love lifts us up where we belong. All these songs keep coming up, like Reverend Joe mentioned. And then again on July 5th, online, no bad parts. So that sounds pretty interesting. So please join us. You can show up next week for the in-person meeting and the little fair thing we're going to have afterward. And then join us again online on July 5th. We welcome you. Now I think we got a little video we're going to share, and we're all going to kind of come up and watch this video with you. Here they come. All right, wake up, boys. Let's go. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Shove everybody up. Shove me up.
Getting up.
We got to get Bill in here and Scott. There we go.
Moving on up to the west side. Or was it the east side? I don't know. Bill?
Come on, Bill. You can show yourself.
Earth calling Bill.
There he is.
Yeah.
A little shy this morning. That's all.
Okay, you'll get over it.
Each and every moment, I remember who I am. I show up uniquely in the world in the way that only I can. I keep my thoughts clear, I create my own day. I know that there is power in every word I say. I show up, I glow up with every word I speak. I take it day by day and do it all again next week. I am abundant, I am free. I am love, I am me. I am joy, I am the light of the sun. I know who I am, and that we are one.
See you next week.
See you next week. Namaste.
Thanks, all. Thank you.
No gong. Let's end it with a gong. Come on. There it is.
There you go.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Happy Father's Day.
Friend.